Hello everyone, Mike Rempel from Excel Bytes with today's Excel blog post. Today we're going to take a look at how to create a unique list of names from a longer list that has many duplicates in it. But in this scenario, the first name and last name are in different columns. So let's see how we can do that in Excel. So here's our scenario. In columns A and B, I have the first name and last name for a list in an area that has 75 different rows plus the header. And you can see it goes down to row 60. But in here, I have multiple duplicates. For example, you can see I have Iris Sawyer here. Iris Sawyer appears again here. And Oliver Carmichael is in row 2. Oliver Carmichael is also in row 10, etc. So I have multiple duplicates. And ultimately what I want to get to is what's in columns F and G, which is the first name and last name of only the unique items within that list. So the first thing I did was I put in a couple helper columns, which I'm going to unhide now. And in column C, what I did was I just concatenated the first name and last names to make sure I had a unique combination, because it's possible there could have been multiple people named Oliver or Penny or Cliff, etc., with a different last name. So I wanted to make sure the combination was unique. And then in column D, I put in a COUNTIF function basically to give me the count or the number of occurrences of that name within the range. And notice I have in cell D2 from C2 to C2, in D3 from C2 to C3, etc. So it's only giving me from this point up the count of whatever the name is in column C and that row. So you can see they're all number ones up to row 10 for Oliver Carmichael, because notice in cell C2 there's also another Oliver Carmichael, and therefore I get a 2 in cell D10. Same thing with Iris Sawyer. I get a 2 in cell D12 because I have Iris Sawyer in C12 and in C9, and etc. As you can see, it goes down. There's some 2s, 3s. I even have some 4s in here where people have appeared that many times in the list. Notice I also included an if statement with an is blank to ensure that if I added more names down here, this would calculate, but without them, it would just give me blanks both in column C and in column D. So that just kept the bottom part of my list clean, and I just ran it down to row 76. So let's take a look at the formula that we have in cell F2. First, notice the curly brackets around it, so it's an array formula. It was entered with Control, Shift, and Enter. I also have my index formula, which is the primary function here, wrapped in an if-error function, so that after it provides a list of unique numbers, it would then provide an error, but I don't want the error to show. So this way I have the formula copied all the way down to row 76, but it just leaves a blank if an error occurs. So that keeps it clean. So the main portion of this formula is an index function, where the array for the first name is the data in column A of the first name. The row number is calculated by the small if, row, and row functions. And then the column number is just column 1 because there is only one column in my array. So the key is, how do we get the row number from the array to populate the value in that cell in column F? And again, we use the small if and row functions to do that. So how does the small function work? Well, the small function has two components. It's array and then a k number. The k number is how small of a value you want. So if you put a 1 there, it'll be the smallest. If it's a 2, it'll be the second smallest. A 3 will be the third smallest, etc. So as you can see, in cell F2, the k number is defined by the row 1 to 1. So that's going to resolve to be a number 1. If I go down to cell F2, the k number here is row 2, 2, which would resolve to be the number 2. So that works all the way down. So in cell F2, I want the smallest, or the first smallest, then the second smallest, third smallest, fourth smallest of the row numbers of the array. So how do we define the row numbers? Well, the row numbers are defined using the if formula that we have here. And the if formula has the logical test if D2 to D76, where I did my count, is the number 1. So we'll only provide a list of items or of rows where there's a number 1 in column D. And then the value, if true, is give me what row that is from cell A2 to A76. So if we look at the array and I hit F9 and I expand my formula bar down, you'll see that I have a series of, I'll move that up a little bit more, a series of numbers and false indicators. So anywhere where the number in column D is a 1, I'll get that row number. So I have row number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way through 9. Row 10, notice, is a 2, so I get a false. Row 11 is back to a 1, so I get an 11, then another false, 13, 14, etc. So my array here for the small function is all the row numbers that have a number 1 in column D. Control Z to go back to that. And then, as where we are right now in row 4, I want the fourth smallest. My K number is 4, but I want a -1 because actually it's only the third in the list. Notice we started our list at cell A2, so even though it's row 4, I want to subtract 1 because it's the third item in that list since I started my list at row 2. So by going through this, again, my array says if D2 equals a 1, then give me those row numbers, and then which one in the small function do you want? Oh, I want the first smallest, second smallest, third smallest, fourth smallest, etc. But I'm going to subtract 1 to allow for the headers that we have there. Therefore, that will populate the appropriate first name that is unique of the combination of first name and last name. Again, notice I have Penny Diaz and Penny Clifford. I pulled both of them because the combination of first name and last name is unique, and it only produced a count of 1. And the exact same thing works for the values of the last name in column G. So if I, for example, added another name down here, I put in Mike and I put in Rempel, notice when I come up here, it's added that to the bottom of my list. If I added that again, now it gives me a count of 2. It did not add it a second time because it recognized the fact that that was the second instance of that name, and therefore it did not populate it. However, I had something slightly different like Michael Rempel, and I went up here. Notice it's going to add that because it is unique compared to Mike Rempel. So it can't differentiate those kinds of irregularities, but it can pick out when there's an exact match. And that's how you can do this in Excel.
And there you have it. I hope you like what you see. If you do like what you see here, please take a minute to share this post on your favorite social network. I can be found on Facebook, Google+, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So I hope you enjoy this. If you'd like to see more, please feel free to stop by my website, excel-bytes.com, and I hope you subscribe. So have a great day and happy excelling.